In this session, we'll be discussing two programs, employee details and items information. Let's look at employee details program first. This is a very simple program where employee ID will be auto-generated, employee name has to be entered, designation has to be selected from this combo box, and basic pay has to be entered. Based on the designation, all of the salary details will be calculated. When the designation is manager, the basic salary entered should be between 15,000 and 25,000. If it is not in that range, a message box comes up saying the basic salary should be between 15K and 25K. When the designation is engineer, the basic pay should be between 10,000 and 15,000. When the designation is either accountant or clerk, the basic pay should be less than or equal to 10,000. The DNS allowance for manager is 60% of the basic pay. For engineer, it is 40% of the basic pay, and for accountant or clerk, it is 30% of the basic pay. Then HRA is same for all the designation. For all the designations, it is 12% of the basic pay. Then deduction is again 10% of the basic pay for all the designations. All the details entered and calculated will be stored in database. Let's have a look at the database. We have already seen how to create a database in the previous video. Database is already created for this program. We'll just have a look at it. VB data is the database name, employee is the table name, and the fields are these: employee ID, employee name, designation, right? All these are the fields. If you can see, employee ID will be auto-generated, we discussed. Employee name will be entered, designation should be selected, basic will be entered, then all these DA, HRA deductions, gross and net will be calculated. Coming back to UI, you can see ADO DC is used. Data source and data field properties for all the text boxes and combo box should be set appropriately. All these things are discussed in detail in the first video. If you've not watched it, please do watch that video and come back to this. Before executing this program, let us see the working of two functions, namely format and mid. Let's understand it with examples. Let's take a new form. Let's add a command button. Let's give it as print. Then let's change the properties of the form, only the font, so that the text looks bigger. Okay, so we are basically trying to see the working of format function. What's a format function, or why is it used? Format function is used to display numbers in formats customized by the users. It can also be used to display date and time in various formats. Let's have a look at a couple of examples. Okay, let's see. Print format. And we want the date in this format. When we want the date in this format, we get it using format function. Let's see. Okay. Let us set the properties, change the properties here. Startup object should be, it is so when you say print, it prints the date in this format because we have given it in this format using the format function. Okay, let's see. Let's take another example, another way of using format function. Just have a look at it, how it looks. Just give number 3. I want to print this number in this format. When I say T10, see the output of it. So can you see it? I'll change the number to 27 or something. When I say print, can you see it? So this is how we can use format function. The same logic is used in our program to generate employee ID. Okay, the next function to be discussed is the mid function. Mid function is used to mid function returns a specified number of characters from a string. Let us see the working of it also. So mid is the function, and it extracts a substring from, so if this is the string, if A, B, C, D, E is the string, and if I want to extract 3 characters from the second position, I have to give like this. So starting from the second position, 3 characters will be extracted. So its starting position is B. Three characters from that B will be B, C, D. So the output should be, okay, what is it? Okay. Print. See the working of it. When we say print, B, C, D will be printed. I'll just change the string. If I just change the string to 005, and from second position if I extract 3, see what will be the output of it. 005 will be printed. Okay, again we are using this logic also in our program. Let's see the working of the program. Here all these details are stored in the database. Employee ID is T001. Okay, so all these things are already given by the user. Now let's see, this is the first record. Let's see the last record. When I click this arrow, it takes us to the last record. So from this we can come to know that there are 6 records. Okay, now let's try to add. So this T006 is the last employee ID in the database. When we try to add, just have a look at it. When we say add, okay, all the details are getting cleared. Only employee ID is generated, that is T007. Okay, now let's give employee name, employee 7. Designation, I'll give it as engineer. Basic pay, it had to be between, just give it as 11,000. Okay, when I say save, employee details saved successfully. Okay, see all other details are calculated and will be stored in the database. So this becomes our last record now. Okay, let's see the logic behind generating this employee ID. What happens when we click add button? I'll just put a breakpoint here. Okay, when you click add button, okay, it's calling a function auto registration. Okay, let's go to that. What's happening here? Here, if the record count is equal to 0, then you're setting num to 1. Num is an integer. It's a data type of it's a variable of type integer. Okay, so if the record count is 0, then num is equal to 1. Else, what is happening? Record sets pointer will move to last. Then what is happening? You're using mid function. Okay, okay, I'll put a breakpoint here also. Okay, it's coming here. Okay, record count is not equal to 0. Record count is 7. So it comes here, it moves to the last. Then what is the employee ID? It is T007. Okay, employee ID, it is T007. And using mid function, you're going to extract the string which you want. That is from two, you'll start from second character. That is after T, 0, after T, from 0 it will start, and how many characters are you going to extract? You're going to extract 3 characters, so it will be equal to 007. Okay, so mid function will give you 007 and plus 1, so num will be equal to 8. Num will be equal to 8 now. Okay, extracted number is 7. 7 plus 1 should be equal to 8. Okay, then employee text, this one employee ID will be set to T008. This is how auto ID will be generated. Okay, I hope this is clear. Okay, then we'll give other details. AMP8 designation, will select it as manager. We'll just give it as 16,000 and we'll say save. Okay, what is happening on save? Okay, manager, it is between this range, so 60% of that, right? After that, okay, employee details saved successfully. So this is the working of employee details program. Next, we'll look at items information program. Here we are using a data grid control, which is an ActiveX control that must be added to the toolbox via the components dialog box. The steps to add ActiveX control and to create database are shown in detail in the first video. The data control to be added using the components dialog box is Microsoft Data Grid Control 6.0 OLEDB. Items information entered here will be stored in the database. Let's have a look at the database. Okay, here items info is the database name, and what are the fields? Fields are these. If you can see, item ID, item name, same as this. Item ID, item name, manufacture date, unit, and rate. Okay. So when we execute this program, we'll change it to items info. This program is very much similar to the previous program which we discussed. Let's just see the working.